Oh shoot!
You like my chunks?
Dude, I was just about to say, those are some sick chocolates. All right, so we're back. The flanges finally came back in. Upon a little bit more research, our idea would totally work by welding the flange to the spider gear. So, we're back at Israel's. Oh dang, little doggies. And then after we clean it all up, then we'll be installing it. Get this thing done. Finally be able to drive the car again. Man, how I missed it. It's only been a few days, I already miss it. You can see how these are angled. This is the old one. They're twisted because of the jarring of the jarring of all the torque and power. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna weld the edge of this into the box in here. Let me be clear real quick. This is what's stripped on the last one, and that's why the ear was just completely spinning free. It was because the splines inside the spider gear had stripped out. And so to help prevent that from having any kind of slop in it or movement in it, we're gonna throw a weld around the edge of this to the spider gear, but with the new M3 flanges. So slide these bad boys in like such, get them lined up.
I'll get them out.
Yep, there she is. I'll say this little tip and trick: don't ever drive these in with a mallet initially. Get the teeth to line up first and then smack it all in. Like this one's already almost there. After they're lined up, smack them all in nice and good. Oh. What's the box, bro? After you have them all the way in, you can see how they stick out into the spider gears, and that's where we're going to be throwing a weld there and there. Again, these are disposable items, and they're pretty much like, they last until they break. The ring and pinions will last quite a long time, but now with everything that's been upgraded on the car, the weak link moves. Before it was the transmission. We upgraded the transmission. Now it's turning out to be the differential ear flanges. Now we're going to weld those and see where the next weak link is. I think that the next weak link is going to be the axles on the car. But if those can hang on, which mine have been pretty strong, then I think the weakest link on the drivetrain is either the drive shaft or the ring and pinion. I don't think the ring and pinion is going to go out though, so it should be fairly reliable for quite some time now. That's the whole goal, is to create longevity. So we'll see what we can do. But I think this is a good idea, and I think it'll work. It's not your like typical what everybody does kind of thing. This is kind of the first time we're doing it, so it's going to be definitely a trial and error thing. But I think this is a good idea, and I think it'll work. It's not your like typical what everybody does kind of thing. This is kind of the first time we're doing it, so it's going to be definitely a trial and error thing. Let's get to welding. Fat welds. I got the diff back home. I'm trying to shoot something before it gets too dark, but pretty much when cleaning the differential, what you want to do is after you get all your welding done and stuff, you want to take the back, keep the back cover off rather. You want to keep the back cover off and rotate the assembly and make sure that there's no slag on your ring gear and your pinion. And so like you'll be rotating it and it might catch and get snagged up a little bit. But back up and like roll through it and keep rolling through it until it's like really smooth. Once everything's smooth and off the gears, then spray a ton of like brake cleaner, or if you have spare oil, get oil in there and lean the diff down so that now all the oil's rolling in there, getting all the slag up and dirt and whatever else got in there while you're welding it, and now you're draining it all back out. I'm gonna put the oil in this thing, and then I gotta pull the axles off of that and put the new axles in it. So I'm waiting for Nate to come too, because he's supposed to help me film. But freaking Nate, after we get the fresh axles in, then we'll throw the new diff back in. All right, so I know it's kind of dark. I'm gonna turn the light on right here, but pretty much you gotta get, in order to take the axles off, you're gonna have to get a 32mm socket, such as this one here. And pretty much as long as you can get it on there, make sure it's on all the way, Just pull the trigger and it'll come right off. There it is. Nuts out. So I'll show you a quick trick to make it easy to take the axles out. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a hold of the other hammer that I need to do this, so I'm just gonna have to do it the normal way, but I'll explain it to you anyways. Pretty much you get a ball peen hammer, and what a ball peen hammer is it has a normal head on one side, and instead of having forks on the other side like your regular like framing hammer, it has that little tiny round like nub that sticks off the other end. And pretty much what you do is you take the nub and you rest it in here, and you hold it with one hand with the nub and then the regular side of the hammer facing out. And then you take a bigger sledgehammer and you hit the head of that hammer and it forces the axle out. And pretty much you don't have to aim your sledgehammer and try to not hit any of these lips. It avoids all that damage. It avoids you holding a pin in here and swinging a sledge and missing the pin and hitting your hand. It just makes it a lot easier. And I saw Chris from Castle Motorsports do it, and he got the axles out in like 2 hits, 3 hits roughly. So it's pretty cool, but I'm just gonna take the regular sledgehammer to it. Fortunately, BMW left a little shoulder here, so it's not like you're hitting this and messing up any threads. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and see if we can get this out. Nate's still not here.
All right, well, I came about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or 6 hours late to this. He asked me to hang out with him earlier. I didn't come, so I felt bad, but I got my own life, you know. I'm not into this whole race car. I'm just kidding.
You ain't got no life.
I don't have a life. I stayed home, played WoW.
Wow.
We're trying to smack this thing out.
The axle. Miss Axel's over here.
We need more light, dude. I saw in our last video we didn't have enough light.
Light it up, bro.
There you go. So we're trying to smack that thing out. But what's going on, Micah?
Problem we're facing is
she don't want to come out.
Doesn't want to come out for one, but 2, that's kind of a small hammer. 3, that's a makeshift hammer, and 2 not appropriate hammers don't work very well together.
There's no ingenious ideas you can think of right now?
Just a bigger hammer.
Will it even help though?
A BFG, bro. We need a BFG.
I don't know what that is.
Big freaking hammer.
that's a BFH, fool.
Or BFH.
That sounds like BFG. What is that?
Sorry, BFH. BFG's tires. I just want it to come out so I can put a new one in and put the new diff in. And
oh, you have the new diff?
Yeah, it's over there.
Let me see. I didn't even know that.
I know. You know
where have I been? I thought that was yesterday we were messing with that thing.
You're busy playing WoW, that's why.
My bad.
So you don't know what's up.
My bad. All right. So what are we doing?
I'm gonna hit this out right now. One shot. Ready, guys? This one's for YouTube. It worked. Oh, I don't know. It's getting late, so I don't want to keep the neighbors up, so I might have to resume this video.
I'm the neighbor. I'm up. Let's go.
That's true. This is PB Blaster.
Oh, peanut butter blaster.
Peanut butter blaster. Penetrating, powerful, habba. And what it does is it's supposed to get into seized areas and unseize, but
what do you think it is, man? Why is it not coming out?
I think it's just tight. I think it's just like
really locked.
Yeah, it's just freaking in there. It's been in there for so long. God knows, maybe since '89 or '98 rather. It's probably been in there since '98.
Oh, dude, sorry for my language.
Watch your mouth.
I'm sorry.
So
put a beep in there.
I'm gonna put dolphin noise.
Came up with this idea to put, what is it called that's in there?
PB Blaster and some other penetration.
Okay, all that stuff right there. And we made a sealant, and it's literally full of the stuff, I think.
Yeah, it's like topped off.
Yeah, it's almost there.
Hopefully it seeps through the splines and frees up all that built up, whatever rust and gunk that's in there. We'll let it sit overnight. Hopefully it frees it up. If it frees it up, we'll know because we'll be able to hit it with the hammers we have and get it out. The other side came out really like 2 smacks and it came right out. This side doesn't want to do that. I think it's just gunked on. I could have had something to do with helping that gunk stay in there or whatever, wedging it tighter by sending it in third with one wheel spinning, just this side actually. But we'll see. We'll let that sit, penetrate overnight. Hopefully be able to throw the new axle and throw the diff in and have this thing rolling again. Until then, we're chilling.
Chilling until mom gets home.
Mom's home.
Drift that, dude.
Yeah. Love that.
All right, guys, later.